What up, you Battlefield nerds? It's been a while, hasn't it? Well, I can explain that. So, what had happened was I ended up getting COVID really badly at the end of July, and I was pretty sick for most of August, and I've spent the last about 2 weeks now trying to recover from it. Slowly getting there, but I figured it's been long enough since we've made content on the channel. And so here we are. And yeah, we're going to finish up the map series we got going, and then we're going to go from there and see what we got next. So let's do that, shall we? All right. So we've covered Breakaway, Discarded, Kaleidoscope, Manifest, and Renewal. Now we're going to go over Orbital. Yeah, I know that the playtest took place on this map and that there's some leaked gameplay of it floating around the interwebs, but I will not be showing any of that in this video because it's under strict NDA still, and I don't want that bad juju on me. So no leaked gameplay, and I'm not going to leave any links to the gameplay in the description of this video either. If you want to see it, just go to YouTube or Google and type in playtest leaked gameplay. Pops right up, you can see it there. Alright, so Orbital takes place in Kourou, French Guiana. Now, as per usual, we'll take a dive into the history behind this map, just a little small dive in there, and then we'll look at all the trailers and everything that we can gather up about it so far and everything that we know so far. So, Kourou is a commune in French Guiana, an overseas region and department of France, located in South America. So this is actually taking place in South America, not in France. In addition to being an administrative district in French Guiana, it is also the main town in that district. So you got your little district and commune of French Guiana, and then the main capital, main town, main hub is Kourou. Within the Kourou district lies the Guyana Space Center, France and the European Space Agency's main spaceport, which is why we can see a space center in this map. Yeah. 37 miles northwest of the French Guyanese capital, Cayenne, the Kourou River empties into the Atlantic Ocean. At the mouth of this river sits the town of Kourou, which is ringed by four hills: Carapa, Parakio. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna butcher these names. Carapa, Pariacabo, Cafe, and Lombard, with the Sings and Condamine mountains not far behind. They do mention that we'll be fighting in mountains and stuff on this map, so I'm sure it's going to be one of those two mountains right there. There are 3 lakes within the town's city limits: Lake Bois Diable, Lake Marie Claire, and Lake Bois Chadat. Some French-ass names, Yvonne. Long white sand beaches and some rocky outcrops line the town's ocean coast, the riverbank, and all points inland consisting mostly of mangrove and dense tropical rainforest. Now, the one thing that I saw in that leaked gameplay was a lot of hills and vegetation, as well as most of the points had buildings like warehouses and storage unit type buildings like that on them. So it looked like from point to point was a lot of running, but you had cover. It wasn't like you were running through the open going from point to point. Obviously, we know that they're going to have the massive rocket from the space station on the level also. And the last little bit of info we got about Kourou is the Guyana Space Center, where the European Space Agency starts missions, is located a little behind and outside of the town. Part of the town and the islands are closed during rocket launches. So sounds and looks like we'll be doing most of the fighting in the hills and the jungle and mountain areas behind the city, outside of the city, not so much inside of the city. So, alright, now let's move over to the trailers and take a look at the map over there. So starting it off, we get our first look at this map during the reveal trailer. And the scene you can see on screen right now starts off with that space center being showed, and it's been clear from the get-go that we'd be doing a lot of fighting in and around that space station. So we see a shit ton of soldiers fighting it out at the base of the rocket, and we also see the rocket taking off and some shitty weather starting to roll in. Now, it's been confirmed by DICE that the rocket can take off and fly away, or it can take off but have a failed launch and fall back down. Sometimes it won't even take off at all, and we can control when that rocket takes off, or if it does take off at all. We, as the players, can control that. Sometimes we can launch it and it just won't do anything, so we'll see. Then it goes to the person driving the vehicle through all the chaos, and we get a better look at that rocket taking off. The smoke from those thrusters should cause visibility issues for everyone that get too close to it while it's taking off. We do get to see this map in the gameplay trailer as well, and this time it's from a soldier's perspective. He's running with his LMG, so a little bit of a movement clip there also, which is pretty neat. Again though, we see that rocket taking off, and then it just cycles between a couple other soldiers' perspectives. One of them is a person floating on by with their parachute open, so that's pretty cool. Try a parachute onto the rocket while it's taking off. Somebody's gonna try it. One of those only in Battlefield moments, you know? Now, according to this picture, Orbital is roughly 3 times the size of Narvik from Battlefield 5, and that map honestly wasn't all that big, so this is definitely on the smaller side of 2042's maps, and that's a good thing, well, for me at least. I'm not a fan of massive maps. I'm not a fan of having every map be a massive map, so that's a nice thing for me. We also know that the sector count for this map will be 6 sectors. Remember though, in 2042 we have sectors now and not just flags, so we'll get 6 sectors with 2 to 3 flags inside of them, and we have to control the flags to control the sectors. Alright, we have just a couple of other mentions about the map from Battlefield Bulletin over on the Twitter, and I will leave a link to their page in the description as always, so go give them a follow. But first, they say, well, actually, we already kind of covered this earlier. Players can determine whether the rocket can take off or not. It doesn't always go as planned. So like I said, we can set it to take off, but sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. Sometimes it'll actually fly away. Sometimes it'll just fall over or fall back down. According to Daniel Berlin, Orbital features a huge tunnel, which links the launch site with the cryo facility on the other side of the hill and the mountain. You can pass through this tunnel, fight it out in the tunnel, or you can choose to take the roads, or you can just run across the mountain. So multiple different areas to approach, multiple different ways to play. You can have your close quarter stuff inside the tunnel and the cryo facility. Outside by the Space Center and the rocket, it's much more open, much more long distance. So good little variety on this map is what it sounded like. So yeah, that's what we have to work with when it comes to the Orbital map. Go ahead and let me know which map y'all are excited for the most and why down in the comment section as always. And I will have links to all this info in the description, as well as links to the other map videos in case this is the first time you're seeing them, or if you didn't even know that I had other ones, because I'm a much smaller channel than a lot of other channels. So go check those out if you want to. We have one more map left to do, and that's Hourglass. That one should be a good video because we've got a ton of content on that video. Tons of trailer footage, tons of info, all kinds of stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, y'all, then sub to show some love so you don't miss out on the next one too. Give the vid a like if you did like it, or a dislike if it was pure shit. It's your choice. But regardless of what you decide to do with this video, I hope all of y'all have a fantastic day, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.